Let's talk about deferred gratitude and exotic cars. Well, hey there, welcome back. If you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving Day. And if you're not, well, happy Thanksgiving Day anyway. Let's talk about deferred gratitude and exotic cars. We all know that Thanksgiving is a day of giving thanks. So you're giving gratitude, you're feeling grateful, right? But what does that have to do with exotic cars? Well, when people go to buy exotic cars, more often than not, they save a tremendous amount of money by not buying them brand new. In fact, I know 2 exotic car collectors that will never buy cars brand new. They all know the old adage about driving a car off the lot and how it depreciates in value tremendously and so on and so forth. But sometimes people will see a listing for an exotic car, a typically expensive car, and it'll be really inexpensive. And it is. It's really inexpensive for what you're getting. Except for one thing. As you can imagine, exotic cars cost a bit more to do maintenance on. In fact, the simplest of maintenance, like rotating tires and getting oil changes, can cost an astounding amount for very expensive cars. So sometimes people don't do that. They don't do that because it's a pain point. They don't do it because they think, well, I just want to drive this really cool car and enjoy it. And oh my God, I spent all my money on that. I'm not gonna do this tire rotation and oil change that costs a fortune. I'll get around to it sometime. And then they sell the car. And the person purchasing the car gets what's called deferred maintenance. So the maintenance that should have been done is waiting for them once they get their nice, nifty car. So there's this added cost that's piled up for this car. The point is it's maintenance that should have been done sooner. Aha. So Thanksgiving, in a way, is a day of deferred gratitude because it's when you hopefully display and express your gratitude for things in your life and for, more importantly, others. But, like the previous owner of the exotic car, I don't think this should be deferred either. We wait for these milestones that give us a license to express gratitude, things like a birthday or Christmas, Thanksgiving, and even a funeral, where we express the gratitude for the person that's passed, and we feel very motivated to express our gratitude for the people that are still around. But we don't need a day or days for that. And just like I say about giving yourself a license to write, if you're thinking of writing or writing a book, you need to give yourself a license to be grateful so that you can be grateful anytime you dang well please. I don't often use the word powerful because everyone uses the word powerful, but it's very powerful to have gratitude. In fact, it's an emotion and a state of being, let's say, that can really mess things up for you if you're feeling sad, depressed, you feel that life is unfair, you feel that you're going through something that's insurmountable. The last thing that you think you should be feeling is gratitude, and yet it's the antidote. It's an amazing antidote, as I've said in a couple other podcasts. It's not something you can fake. It's not something that you can be inauthentic about. Man, I don't like that word. But if you're feeling true gratitude, it can get you through some pretty rough times. Trust me, I know. And again, it feels like the last thing you should be feeling, and yet it is the thing that counteracts the feelings of unfairness and sadness and want and need and desire and all that good stuff. If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it make a sound? I don't know, that's kind of dumb. Why would you even say that? But if you experience gratitude and you don't express it specifically to a person, like if you're feeling grateful about your relationship, your friendship, your wife, and so forth, and you don't express it to them, are you still feeling gratitude? Well, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But it also can be very beneficial to share that as well. So on Thanksgiving, if you're lucky enough to have friends and family that you spend it with on a regular basis, I hope that you have at least developed a tradition of voicing what and who you are grateful for. And regardless of whether you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you don't use it as the only excuse to defer your gratitude and that you express your gratitude to others in your life and to yourself, because you are also included on that list. And when I did my podcast episode on self-love and self-care, that would be included in self-love, is being grateful for yourself, being grateful for your skills and the things that you do and going the extra mile and the way that you treat people and the way that you are always there for others and for yourself and so forth. Like the car with deferred maintenance, waiting for someone to be exited from your life is not the best time to be telling them that you're grateful for them, or waiting for a birthday or Christmas or a holiday, or worse. So, to you who is listening currently to my podcast, I am grateful for you. I'm grateful that you take time out of your day to listen to my podcast. Whether this is the first or last episode you ever hear of my podcast, I'm grateful because I value time, energy, and resources, as you know, ad infinitum. So thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm also grateful to you if you have ever tried anything in one of these podcasts, or if it's ever crossed your mind when you weren't listening to it 2 days later, a week later, and you're like, hey, this is what that guy was talking about. I'm grateful if you've ever shared something from my podcast with someone else. I'm grateful if someone you shared the podcast with started to be a listener. I'm grateful for all of the people who have provided feedback in one way or another, whether it was a comment, whether it's a rating in one of the many platforms, or someone who has listened to my podcast and actually told me or others with me present that they should maybe listen. I'm grateful for the technology that allows me to have a platform and multiple platforms to get the word out. I'm grateful that I stuck with this, that I decided that I was going to make a commitment to myself and people that I may never ever see, that I'm going to keep this up. As long as I have creativity and the stamina to keep coming back and to keep giving you podcast episodes that were just 10 minutes-ish long, I was going to do it. I know you probably don't want me to go on and on about the things I'm grateful for and the people that I'm grateful for, so perhaps you should replace that with your own gratitude. And I will end this early so that you do have that time. So thank you as always. Again, I'm very grateful for you. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are celebrating it. And take care of yourselves.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Hey, you know we're in the middle of the 13-part Charm series, right? It's a 13-part series on states of being. Take a look at the Alchemy for Life site and go in the Charms area. You'll see the podcast episodes to date that deal with the charms and states of being, and you could even grab a charm for yourself.